And if you are not able to hear me, then there might be some local issue. No, now if you are not able to hear me, then you have to rejoin, okay? Or you can contact support team. So that's good. Let's start.
Recording in progress.
So my dear friends, my name is Zamir and I am the trainer for the course, and the name of the course is Azure Cloud Administrator course. So we all are here for the demo lecture of the Azure Admin course, Azure Administrator course, also known as AZ104. So my name is Zamir, and something about myself. So I possess more than 16 years of IT experience. I have trained thousands of students in Atari class, and I take three courses in Atari class. One is Azure, other is MCSC, Windows Server, and the third one is CCNA, networking. So my dear friends, as we all know, this Azure cloud belongs to whom? Azure cloud belongs to Microsoft. And Microsoft is a very famous company. And the popular product of Microsoft is operating system. Windows 10, Windows 11, server operating system. And in today's world right now, one of the most popular product of Microsoft is, along with operating system, is Microsoft Azure. So why Microsoft is very famous? One of the most important thing that Microsoft does is it creates simple, easy, user-friendly products. And Azure is also like that. Azure is simple and easy to understand. Now, before understanding about Microsoft Cloud and before taking up the demo session, we want to first understand right now that when you see cloud, what comes in your mind? Anything, any thought, or in simple word, what is cloud for you? Anything that comes in your mind? Okay, renting service, anything, any thought? See, the demo session will go like this. A lot of things I will share. Okay, a lot of things I will share, and then we will take up a point where most of your queries will get resolved, and then we will take up your more queries at the ending of the session. Okay, because the demo session is designed in such a way that most of the queries which are there in your mind, automatically I will take them one by one. And then I will ask you at the last. So let's take some answers here. Okay, so renting services, cloud mean virtual, accessibility, pay as you go, global service, easily available, virtual service, sharing files and storing data, subscription of service, set of multiple server at one place, remote access from anywhere, virtual machine, virtual platform, everywhere access, and which will take a service only you pay. No on premises, virtual data storage, get all resource in one platform, like a storage, like service provider, like Uber, Ola, Rapido. We can also rent service like compute, database storage. Cost effective services. So my dear friend, pay as much you use, pay as you go. So that was a good reply we got. Thank you. Now we will go ahead and we will first understand the need of cloud. One more answer. We can manage CPU memory and according to our requirement. Okay. So that was a good discussion, good reply. Now what we will do is, my dear friends, we will first understand the need of cloud. To understand the need of cloud, we will first take up an example of a scenario where cloud is not there. Meaning, we will take up an example of an on-premises environment, on-premises physical office. For example, there is a company. That company wants to start its own website like www.shopping.com. This company wants to start its own website. The way Flipkart is there, the way Amazon is there, the same way this company wants to start its own website. So, my dear friends, this company has decided to go for on-premises environment. They said that we want to go for on-premises. Now, in on-premises environment, what will happen? This company needs to create its own data center. In on-premises environment, what they have to do? They have to create their own data center. Now, what all things are there in data center? See, creating a data center, managing a data center is a big task. It is a big investment for the company. So, what all things are required? For example, space. First of all, space is required. We require a space to create a data center. Then power supply is required. So I will put down. If something comes more in your mind, you can put that also. Power supply is required. Cooling is required. Proper cooling, proper power, dual power, UPS power. Then cabling is required. Cabling, cables, fiber cable, LAN cable, cabling is required. Then, my dear friends, rack is required. In the data center, racks are there. Then servers are required. Servers, right? Obviously, the website will be hosted on the servers. Then routers are required. Then, my dear friends, switches are required. Then firewall is required to protect the servers from attack. Load balancer is required. When you have more than one server, you require load balancer also. Then my dear friends, backup is required. We have to take the backup of the server. Then their annual maintenance is required. Maintenance.
जब तक वो नहीं होगा तब तक डाल के क्या मतलब है?
Then, my dear
हाँ, क्या वो
friends,
समग्र आईडी से तो 18
कब करवाए थे?
हाँ?
समग्र आईडी कब करवाए थे?
अरे समग्र आईडी है पर उसमें
Storage
पिताजी
is
का नाम आ रहा है
required.
पापा के नाम की जगह।
then you require links,
ताना समग्र आईडी
हाँ? मैंने उससे
connections,
पूछी वो नगर निगम जाता तो वो
private
बोला था कि कल दे
connection,
देना बाकी
internet
आधार
connection,
कार्ड और
connection is
समग्र आईडी
required.
में वो करवा दूंगा।
नहीं,
माल भी
Then
नीचे
you
रहेगा।
require,
आपकी
apart
समग्र आईडी
from
में क्या
that, you
होगा?
require a
पिताजी
team
का नाम
of
आता है।
आईडी में पिताजी
engineers.
का नाम आ रहा पापा के नाम की जगह।
Team of engineers.
भाऊ के नाम की जगह पिताजी का नाम है।
CCTV
सबसे
camera
ऊपर
also.
आया।
CCTV camera is required. CCTV camera
तो मेरा तो मूली का
monitoring. Then, my dear friends, I will go to the chat box.
गांव
Let's
के
see
रहने
what all
वासी
people
होना
have
तुम।
put.
देख एक जमाने का है ये। उसमें तो
Okay.
डेट भी नहीं डली है पर कहाँ डेट डली?
So many things you have put.
18/2/2013
So power rack,
नहीं डली
router,
डेट।
hardware, security,
क्या देखी
server,
तुम?
cable
दिलीप लगा
racks,
उसमें वो लगा देना
and
चाहिए।
IP data center,
अरे इसको नया क्यों नहीं बना रहे हो?
servers, switches, fire
जब 24
extinguisher,
घंटे में बन जाता है
data
अभी तक
center
की ध्यान नहीं।
management
कहाँ
team known as
24?
BMS team,
अरे
तुम
मूली
बना
वासी
रहे
24
load
घंटे में मिल
balancer,
जाता है।
तुम बना
maintenance,
रहे थे
अरे अंकित भैया
camera, firewall, internet
और
connection,
उसको
backup
पूछना वो
device,
समग्र
cooling
आईडी को कर देगा
device,
क्यों ना?
technical person,
क्या?
security,
वो थोड़ी कर रहे हो।
server,
कर देगा ना?
storage, internet, firewall,
समग्र आईडी
internet link, ISP, standby network,
वो पैसे मांग लेगा
DSCP,
सर।
internet,
हाँ।
DR location,
और
क्या उसकी
multiple
सेटिंग पे
IP.
काम
So many
करवाता
things
है
you
वो वहाँ
people
पे।
have put.
सेटिंग्स में।
That's too good. And finally, money.
घर में इन्हें कहाँ देती?
दूसरी
Correct.
सेटिंग करके रखा है उसने काम करवाने के लिए उधर।
So data center managed team,
घर
manpower.
वाली सेटिंग
So
थोड़ी
that's the
दिखलाती है।
पूछ के देख फट से तू यहाँ।
So
बिजी होते रहना।
finally you require money also for investment, meaning the company requires in money for investment.
समग्र आईडी बताओ ना भाई।
So in this case, this company invested. This company says, no, we want to create our
अगर
own data
मूली का
center.
बनाना पड़ेगा
They
तो
took the
वैसे कोई
space,
भेज
power,
नहीं
cooling,
पाऊंगा
cabling,
मैं तो नहीं
rack, camera, server, router, switches, firewall, load balancer, backup software,
अरे 100
maintenance,
रुपए लगता है
storage,
मात्र मूल्य वासी का।
internet link, all connections, everything. Then they have team of engineers. Do they require one team? No, multiple teams. Network team, server team, storage team, firewall team, security team,
क्या बिगाड़ लिया
cabling
तुम्हारे
team,
पास?
camera team,
हाँ?
data
हमने
center
मालूम क्या है?
maintenance team, UPS and all that handling team, meaning so many team, multiple team of engineers are required.
4 से कॉल लगा दिया। हाँ? मतलब कि ये 2
And my
बजे
dear
तक तो सोते
friends,
रहते हैं।
कुछ भी करता है
this
भैया।
team of engineers, they will be working 24 by
रात के
7
10 बजे
into
तक 11 बजे तक बैठे
365.
रहता है।
और हम बैठ रहे तुम
So in
बैठ रहे
one
तो
team at least 4-5
अपना
people is required. 4-5 people required in one team. So this company said, no, we are ready. We will invest. They invested huge
अरे तो
investment.
देखने आया तू कैच कर रहा है,
बताओ
क्या
ना।
करना
And now their
नहीं
website
रहना है
is
वो क्या करना है?
online.
बोलो परिवार आईडी
www.shopping.com. And now
पर्सनल वाली
people
बता दो एक।
are accessing the website. The website is available and people are accessing the website. Now 1 month pass. 1 month pass. After all this investment, the website is live. The management of the company, the management is not happy. Why the management is not happy? Management says we have done such a big investment, but the number of people who are accessing our website, they are less. So the management contacts the sales team.
शैलेंद्र अल्डा
आ रहा ना रे
मुखिया का नाम शैलेंद्र अल्डा।
अरे इसमें
And
नहीं ना रे, भाभी की आईडी डाल के वो कर फॉर्म।
management pass the
अरे
message
आज
to
तो
the
मैं एक
sales
तरफ बैठू
team
ना
that do something.
अरे
Do
कहाँ
something.
बोल
We
रहे हैं?
require
अरे भाई तू
अच्छा
हाँ,
more number
हाँ।
of people to access the website. We
समझ
require
गया?
business.
समझ गया।
ठीक है।
ठीक है कुछ नहीं
So
होता।
the sales team came up with a brilliant offer. The sales team came up with buy one, get one, get the same thing for free. Buy one,
अरे
get
लगा
one
के
free.
देखो अंकित को उठाएगा तुम
उसका नहीं उठा रहा, मेरा भी नहीं उठा रहा है। आप लगाओ।
Now one
आपका
more
उठा
thing here.
सकता है।
In the backend, they had 4 servers. They have put 4 servers. Now this sales team started the offer. Google ads, Facebook ads, advertisement everywhere. Buy one, get one free. It was a good offer. Now what happened? Because of this offer, more number of people started accessing the website. More number of people started accessing the website.
कहाँ जा रही बेटी?
अभी भाई
बाहर काय के लिए?
And in the backend,
हाँ.
there are 4 servers. So these
संभाल
4
जुबेर की बात सुनो
servers
तुमने?
हाँ
were not able to handle the load. More number of people
जिला
started
पटना-
accessing the website.
हाँ.
And finally, these 4 servers were not able to handle too much load, and the website
बताता रहो तुम।
crashed.
हम मानते नहीं हो बात को।
The website went down, right? It happens. In olden days, it was happening frequently when exam results were there, website used to crash.
हाँ, तारना आ रहा है,
Many years
सांप आ
back.
रहा है,
Nowadays,
पिंजरी
you
कला आ
don't
रहा है,
see like this.
भोना खेदी आ रहा है,
So
गुरैया
in this scenario, the
तो
website
सारना
crashed.
गुरैया भर दो.
गुरैया कर दी।
गुरैया और सारना कर
Website
दो.
कैसे
was
भरोगे
down.
वो?
ये
The
पहले
website
उसके
was-
नोटिफिकेशन पढ़ो आप चंदन गांव में
So
चंदन
this-
जहाँ का फॉर्म भर रहे हो
लिखा है
जहाँ का
This
फॉर्म भर रहे हो
message
विज्ञापित
management
के निवासी
thinking
वहां के
when our
रहने वाले
website
होना
is down.
चाहिए आप कहीं का भी नहीं हो। चंदन गांव का मत
So
डालना
management
पहले लिया
चंदन गांव का ही
contacted
भर सकता है तू भाई
the team
चार
of
गाँव आठ गाँव
engineers
बात ही नहीं है ये तो रही है चंदनगांव
and asked them
चंदन गांव का
what
ही
is
भर
the
सकता है
reason
नगर ले यहाँ पर
नंबर ले लो।
why the website went down.
यहाँ
So the team of engineers said
दिल जाएगा
that sir,
आठ
we
नंबर।
had only 4 servers.
ये भर सकते हैं वार्ड नंबर
And sales
34
team has
ये
done
भर सकते हैं
very good
बच्चे
advertisement.
को ले जाती ना भाई आकाश
And too many people,
गली गली
too
से
many
आकाश
people,
की लिस्ट
unexpectedly, too
गली
many
गली से
people
उठाना
started
पड़ेगा घर
accessing the
घर बच्चे
website.
लोगों को।
गाँव को ऐसे ही बच्चों की
हाँ.
पकड़ो चलो बेटा
और क्या?
So in this
तो
case,
बात
this
तो-
4 server CPU
क्या
memory
मतलब?
went high. They
बड़ों
will
नहीं है
not
यहाँ पे
crash.
नाम गड़बड़
Now we will take some time. The website will be
नहीं,
up.
ये यहाँ पे वो नहीं,
ये-
ये वार्ड नंबर
ये
The
आनंद
management
मिश्रा
said to the
है।
team of engineers,
हाँ,
आने
ये
दो ना, वो बात की बात में
marketing
देखना।
advertisement we have already done.
कल वो उसको दे देना पर.
So the servers will be up, the website will be up. But what if after 2-3 hours
आधार कार्ड और समग्र ID
more number of people access the website, then the website will go down again.
तो मैं करवा दूंगा वो अपडेट.
So what is the solution?
वोटर कार्ड डाल दो ना।
The management
done.
asked the team of
Nice.
engineers.
नंबर बता
The team of engineers said that sir, we have to increase the capacity. For example, we have 4 servers, we will double the capacity. We have to increase the number of servers. We will double them, 4 to 8.
ये नंबर रहता है यहाँ पे
We will increase the capacity from 4 to 8.
फट गया।
So the management tell
सही कर दो रे.
the team of
इसको काट दो ना,
engineers
सही
नहीं,
that
अभी वो नया वाला
Okay.
बना देंगे ना अभी।
सही तो करने
do
दे.
it right away. What do you think?
पहले उसका डेट भी अलग लगा
In case of on-premises environment, can we do it right away? Management says do it right away, right now, right away. So the team of engineers said, sir, it will take time.
इसमें क्या डालूंगा?
It is not right away.
Time.
It is not possible right away.
आपके पति का
It will take days.
पति डाल.
ग्राम
Correct. We have
गरीबी
to
रेखा
buy the server.
नहीं है।
We have to buy the hardware. Then we have to put them in the data center. We have to put them in burn test. Then we have to do network connection. So many things are there.
आ जाएगा
So it is not right away. It can take days. In some companies, it can take weeks. In some company, it can take months. But it is not right away. It will take time. So this is the pain point of on-premises environment. In on-premises environment, resources are not instantly available.
ऐसे क्या कुछ है ना?
Resources are not instantly available. You have to pay first for the resource. You have limited resource, and the resources are not instantly available on demand. When you demand them, when you need them, the resources are not
मेरे को मालूम है वो
instantly
जो बता रहा है
available.
इसके बाद का पढ़ना है
So this
बंद
is
कर दो।
the
नहीं बंद कर
characteristic
सकता
of
अटेंडेंस कैसे रहेगा
non-cloud environment. Non-cloud meaning on premises. Pay first. First you have to pay. Then resources meaning example server resources are limited. Whatever resources you have, they all are limited. Then resources, example server, are not instantly available on demand. When you demand them, when you want them right now, right away, they are not available. You have to buy them. So these are the characteristics of a on-premises environment. Now, whether your on-premises environment is physical server, virtual server, you have limited hardware. You don't have unlimited hardware. In on-premises, you have a limit. Your inventory is limited. Everything is limited. Everything is in front of you. You don't have unlimited, meaning if you require more right now, right away, you get a scenario. It is not possible in on-premises. So, my dear friends, these are the characteristics of non-cloud environment. You have to pay first. Whatever you buy, whatever you have, they are limited. And if you require more, then it is not instantly available on demand. So these pain points were understood by cloud provider like Microsoft. Microsoft Azure says that why to the company, that why, my dear friend, try to understand that when companies are going for on-premises environment, it is a big investment for them. Space, power, cooling, cabling, rack, server, router, switches, firewall, load balancer, backup, maintenance, storage, connection, team of engineers. It is a very big investment for the company. So what Microsoft Azure says to the company, that why you are investing in creating your own data center and taking the headache of creating, managing the data center where everything you have limited. How much you increase, but you have a limit. That limit will end at one point. So my dear friend, what Azure says to the companies, that why you are creating your own data center, taking the headache of creating and managing them. Use my data center. So Azure has 60 plus data centers across the world. In India, Azure has 3 data centers. One data center is in Mumbai. One data center is in Pune. And one data center is in Chennai. Okay, there is a data center in Hyderabad also, but that is not reflected on the portal, but it is there. On the portal, it is 3: Mumbai, Pune, and Chennai. Now, how this data center look like? See, Azure Cloud has a physical data center in the backend. And that physical data center, my dear friends, it looks like this. No, I don't say that this is Mumbai. So this is just a video. And this video gives us an understanding that Cloud means
ग्रेजुएशन
in the
की पोस्ट
back end
ग्रेजुएशन
there
वाली
is a physical
हाँ,
data
कौन सी वाली?
center. So
पोस्ट
they take a
ग्रेजुएट जो
big
हाई है
space
ना, हाई वाली तो
and they
हाई लेवल
create a physical data center.
और जाति प्रमाण पत्र कष्ट और क्या बोलते हैं
So they manage this
सरकार कहाँ है?
complete data center and give to us as a service.
ये वाली दो बीए फाइनल.
ना-
So when this video was taken, there were 54 regions. Regions meaning data center. Now there are 60 plus.
अरे फोटो कॉपी नहीं करना, वो अपलोड करना ना अपनी
यार अभी यार तुम यार कैसे करते रहते लड़का काम कर रहा है, करने दो ना उसको।
So this is the inside view of the data center. See, Azure data centers, they are highly certified data centers. They are like neat, clean, and they are highly certified data centers. Some of our on-premises data centers are so danger that if we open up the rack, then the rack door, meaning if we open up the rack door, then we are not able to close the rack door. Why? What is the reason we are not able to close the rack door back? Because so many cables are there coming out. Because of them, we are not able to close in our on-premises environment. Literally, when we used to fear that, okay, when we go to the data center, we have to be careful. Unnecessary, do not touch any cable. No unnecessary touching. Carefully, we used to do the work. Unnecessary touch here and there can be a disaster. But see here, my dear friend, neat, clean, big data centers. So Azure says to the company that why you are creating your own data center? Why you are investing? We are giving you the complete data center space, rack, power, cooling, cabling, router, switches, firewall, CPU, memory. See, in your on-premises, everything is limited. How much you keep spare at one point, that is limited. But in Azure Cloud, Azure says for the customer point of view, we have unlimited. Because Azure also has a limit, but Azure limit is very big. Azure says for the customer, for you, it is unlimited. So when we talk about Azure Cloud, in the backend, Azure has a physical data center. Are you getting the point, my dear friend? This is cloud. For example, this is Mumbai data center. This is like Pune data center. This is Chennai data center. So cloud means in the backend, they have a physical data center. And they are giving this data center to the customer as a service. And this is how
फोटो खींचना पड़ेगा 50 रुपये लगेंगे
this is how the term came into picture. The
ये
video
बताओ
is
यार
completed. That is infrastructure as a
अरे
service.
हमारे 50 रुपये में नुकसान हो जाएगा ना
Infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure in simple word meaning data center. So the complete data center is given to the customer as a service. No need to create the data center. Use our data centers. Now, before understanding infrastructure as a service, we will first understand what is the meaning of as a service.
एक
As a
सीधी सिंपल
service.
खिंचवा लेते ना वहां भी तुमने खिंचवाया करके नहीं लगा
See, there are a lot of things in our life that we get as a service. Meaning we are using cloud as a service, meaning cloud model. In cloud, you will get things as a service. Now, infrastructure as a service is the terminology of IT. But there is something which is daily life cloud. That is, to understand cloud in a better way, that is electricity as a service.
रावण बना दूं क्यों दशनंद रावण बना दूं
Electricity
कि
is
एक
given
इधर
to
एक
us
इधर
as
एक
a
इधर
service.
देखो अभी क्या होगा, अभी देखो
For
क्या होगा।
example,
ये देखो सुशील भैया
If I want
देखो तो
a
देखो क्या
electricity
कर रहा है
connection at my house, so what I will do, I will go to the electricity provider, I will fill up the form. Then the electricity provider have a big cloud of electricity. They have a big cloud of electricity. They will give electricity connection at my house. Then what will happen? Then first I have to use the electricity. First I have to use the electricity. And then I have to pay. This concept is known as pay as you go.
अभी इधर काम कर रहा हूँ
Pay as you go. Pay as you go means how much you use, that much you have to pay. So first what I have to do, I have to use the electricity, then I have to pay for that. Now my dear friend, if I go to the electricity provider, who have the big cloud of electricity. In Mumbai, we have Tata, we have Adani. They are the electricity provider. One government electricity provider is also there. So multiple electricity provider are there. So if I go to, for example, Tata is one electricity provider in Mumbai, and I ask them that, can I see where the electricity is generated, where it is generated? Can I see where the electricity is generated? What devices are used to generate electricity? How much electricity is generated? Where it is generated? How much it is generated? What devices are used to generate electricity? So, my dear friends, will they entertain my question? They will call me. Who are you? You want electricity? Now use the electricity. Why you are interested in where it is generated, how it is generated, what devices are used to generate the electricity, whether we are generating electricity using wind power, or we are generating electricity using water. Why you are curious in all these things? That we cannot show you. You go, electricity will come at your house, there is a meter, how much you use, that much you have to pay. Electricity is given to you as a service. The back end complete headache we will take care. That is our responsibility. We will take care. That is not your job. That is our job. We are electricity provider. We have a big cloud of electricity. We have lot of electricity. You run how many AC you want, how many fan you want, how much light you want at your house. But be ready to pay the bill. So how much you use, that much you have to pay. So the same thing here. In case of infrastructure as a service, my dear friend, the complete data center in the backend is given to the customer as a service. Azure says where we have the data center in Mumbai, where? In Mumbai, where? That is not disclosed. Mumbai is disclosed. Pune, where? It is not disclosed. Chennai, where? It is not disclosed. How much big data center? What is it? Where we have the data center? That is all cloud. That is all backend. So you want server? You want server for your website? Because websites are hosted on server. So you want server, and the company says yes. So you decide in which data center you want. For example, the company says Mumbai data center. Now which data center the company will decide which is nearest? to the business of the company? That we will discuss. There is a session for that, but the simple answer is the data center which is nearest for the business of the company. So that data center the company will select. For example, there is a data center in US, and this company has to create a website like shopping.com, and most of the people who will be accessing the websites are from India. Will the company, if they are going to use Azure cloud, will they create the server in US? What do you think? The company knows that my website, most of the people who are accessing my website are Indians. They are accessing the website from India. So obviously I will keep the server in India only. Latency will be there. Slowness will be there if I keep the servers in US. Okay. So my dear friend, the data center the companies will select depending upon their business requirement. So this complete data center is given to the customer as a service. Now, as a service, one example we have given you. Electricity. There are lot of daily life cloud. There are lot of daily life example which we use in our daily life. Like for example, Ola is there, Uber is there. So you just use their app, the car along with the driver, it comes. You use the service, you pay for that. You are not interested who's paying the monthly charges of the driver and the car maintenance and all that. That is all their headache. Zomato is there, Zepto is there, Swiggy is there. You just order them, they give you the food. You don't need to go and take it. So there are a lot of things that you are getting as a service. Like you go to the restaurant, you first order. After order, you get your food, you have your food, then the bill comes. So the cloud concept is, my dear friend, it is pay as you go. How much you use, that much you have to pay, and everything is given to you as a service, ready made. The backend headache the cloud provider will take care. And there are few characteristics of cloud. The characteristics of cloud are pay as you go. Pay as you go. Meaning first you have to
कौन सी
use
खरीद
the
के लेके आ रहा है
service, then you have to pay. In Azure cloud
चल
also,
रही
if
नहीं
you are
कैसे
creating the server,
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
you
Let's
have to use the
application
server.
लाना
You
पड़ता है
create the
उसको
server, you
कंटिन्यू
use the
करना
server. For
वो
example,
उसी के
you
लिए
use the server
उसी
for
को
1
उसको
hour.
दबा
You
के
pay
रहना
for 1 hour.
पड़ता है अपना खून दौड़ रहा है कहीं दौड़ रहा है
So
वो
how much
हिलाती
you
है फिर बाद
use,
में
that much you have to pay. Pay as you go.
बात कोई
Then
थी
in cloud, resources
बाहर भी
are unlimited. See, they have a limit, but from the customer point of view, it is unlimited. They have a limit. The limit is very big. Azure says, yes, we have a limit, but from customer point of view, from your point of view, we are unlimited. How much you want, we can give. And resources are instantly available. Resources are instantly available on demand. So you demand them and the resources are available. So these are the characteristics of a cloud environment. Pay as you go. Resources are unlimited. And resources are instantly available on demand. More CPU memory you want, available. More number of servers you want, it is available. So my dear friends, what Azure says to the companies that why you are investing in creating your own data center. Use our data center. Now the company asks how we can use the Azure data center. So we'll give you an example.
बढ़िया, आप बताओ।
Example is, my dear friend, the place to use Azure is portal.azure.com. The place is portal.azure.com. This is the place. This is the website. The name of the website is
Hmm?
आप तक तो हो जाएगा।
portal.azure.com.
अरे तो फॉर्म भर भी देगा तो
So
क्या करेगा
here
फॉर्म भर के, जब उसमें
everything
डिटेल कर रखते हैं ना।
is given to you as a service. You will see the word
12वीं की मार्कशीट
service,
लगेगी, 10वीं
ready-made.
की तोड़ ना लगेगी, 12वीं की चाहिए तो।
For example, if I want to create server, servers are known as virtual machines. Now, why they are known as virtual machines, we will understand. In the course, we will understand. We have a topic when we will talk about availability set, availability zone, regions. Then we will discuss that why servers are known as virtual machine, VMs. So if I go here and if I click on plus create Azure virtual machine, plus create Azure virtual machine, and then I will see a lot of things here, like for example, resource group. Now I will just create it just to show you the power of cloud, that okay, how much
हाँ?
time it takes. By the way, what do you think? How much time it will take for me to create the server? Any thought? Like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, anything that comes in your mind? Okay, let's see. Let's see how much time it takes. So, my dear friends, here when we are creating the server, we can see resource group. Now, when the first lecture, today is the demo lecture. Demo lecture is a very top level lecture.
अपलोड माना।
It is like something you are seeing at the top. That is demo. When the actual lecture will come, we will go deep.
जेपीजी में करो उसको, जेपीजी में .jpg का फाइल।
क्या है वो?
Azure. How does
क्या
it
है?
work? What is an
Space हटा।
account? What is subscription? What is a resource group? What is resources?
क्या है?
Then what is the meaning of subscription? Can I have multiple subscriptions? Are there any limits in subscriptions? Then support plans.
JPEG।
Then resource group. What is resource group?
हाँ, अभी अपलोड कर दे।
And we try to keep the notes in simple and easy form so that
साइज कितना है?
during the course,
सही।
after the course,
JPEG करना
whenever
उसको
you
स्मॉल
read, it
लेटर
is
में,
easy for
कैपिटल
you
लेटर
to
में क्यों करके
understand.
रखना है?
And this is not just theory course.
रीनेम कर।
It is a live hands-on
अबे वो
practical
रीनेम
training
करके
course
JPEG कर उसको,
where you will
स्मॉल
be
लेटर में।
performing live practical. Live practical you will perform along with
फिर स्पेस
me.
मार दिया।
How you will perform practical, we will discuss that also. So you have to just stay
.jpeg
connected in the
का
demo session.
डॉट
Your
लगा
queries
पहले।
will automatically get resolved. We will come to the point
हाँ
that
भाई।
how you can perform the practical, what is the duration of the course, how can I revise. So many questions which are there in your mind, automatically I will take. You just need to stay connected. Then if you have some queries at the last, you can put. Now, my dear friends, so this is resource group. Now, when the resource group topic come, we will understand. The first lecture will start with resource group. So here I will just put a dummy resource group name like resource group IT prod, okay, and name of the server, like for example my server. Then in which region I want to create the server. If I try to search here Mumbai, direct they have not given the name. They have used a code. There is a list, there is a page for all this code. If I search India, then Central India means let's see who can answer. Central India means you have three options. Central India means Pune, Mumbai, Chennai.
बहुत परेशान हूँ।
Among correct. Chennai is South India. Perfect. Then between Mumbai and Pune, who is Central India? Perfect. Central India meaning Pune. And West India meaning Mumbai. Pune is central. If you look at the map also. So now I want to create server in, for example, I want to create server in central India, Pune. And for our course, central India will be the favorite region. Why? We will discuss with you. So region central India. Now what is availability zone? We will discuss. There is a topic. In that topic, we will discuss about availability zone. What is availability zone? The topic will come.
It can be.
Then we will discuss about availability zones. So here I will just keep it zone 1 and keep it operating system. So operating system Windows 2022, CPU memory 2 CPU 4 GB RAM. Username and password. Username is my name. Password I can set any password, whatever I want. Okay. Now review plus create. We will understand this. What is this port? What is image, security type, availability zone, availability options, availability set, virtual machine skill set. When the topic will come, step by step we will go. Our way of training is we go slow. And we will go step by step. And it is a live, hands-on practical training. Some people who have never attended live hands-on practical training, it can come in your mind that how we will perform the practical. Our way is very simple. See, as an example, I will give here. For example, I go to portal.azure.com. Then I will ask you people, have you logged in into portal.azure.com? Then you people will tell me, yes, 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 yes. Then we will tell you that have you searched? Do you see the search bar here after login? Here you have to search virtual machine. Then you will look at my screen and you will do it your side. Then we will wait for you. Have you searched for virtual machine? Do you see a virtual machine? Please click on this. Then you will come on this page.
साइज कितना है देखो
Then we
उसमें।
will wait. If
अबे
someone is
200
facing
केबी के
any
नीचे
problem,
करना
we will
साइज
take the remote, we will help. Are you getting the point, my
अस्सी
dear friend? So
हाँ
we
70
go
कर दे।
step by step, slowly, slowly. We are in no hurry. Now, here what I will do
हाँ
is
ये
I
नाम दे
will
दूसरा।
create the server. I have selected the region where I want to create. Data center is known as region. And why it is known as region, we will discuss in details. So region is central India. So central India meaning Pune. And then operating system Windows 2022, CPU memory 2 CPU 4 GB RAM, username password I have given. Now what I will do is I will click on review plus create. Now after clicking on review plus create, if I click on create, now we will check how much time it takes. Let's see. Now I have clicked on create. Now how much time it will take
वो
for
अपलोड
the deployment of the server? Let's see.
और मैंने कर दिया एक ही बार में तो बोल। हाँ नहीं मैं एक बार में कर दिया तो।
So let's see how much time it takes. So the deployment is going
बोल
on.
मैं एक बार में कर दिया तो।
पहले स्टार्टिंग करना था, जो आप फॉर्म आएगा ना नेक्स्ट टाइम में मैं आपको दूंगा, ठीक है।
देखो इससे अपलोड नहीं हो रहा है, कितने देर में बन जाता है।
So let's wait for the deployment.
स्टार्ट कर देता सीधे सीधे उसको।
ओके
और डॉट जेपीजी स्मॉल में कर, बिग में मत रख।
So let's wait for the deployment to be completed.
जो बोल रहा हूँ नहीं समझ में आता तेरे को।
Okay, so how much time? approximately now 2 minutes will pass. Oh, the deployment is completed. So my dear friends, in 2 minutes, the server is created. In
Types
2
बताओ।
minutes. Now I can go to the server
यूपीआई सर यूपीआई
and I can copy the public IP address of the
MPI
server
नहीं है दा
and then I can
UPI
type
नीचे
here
वाला है।
MCSC,
बाहर
paste
देखेगा
the
अंदर
public
नीचे से
IP,
वहाँ से
बाहर
connect,
देखिएगा फिर से लॉगिन करना
username password is there, which at a time of creation of the server I have given that username and
नीचे वाला
password, and I am able
Login
to
कर
take
लो।
the remote of the server. See the complete headache of the data center, power, cooling, cabling, connectivity, router switches, networking, load balancing, firewall, internet link. Are you getting the point, team of engineers? Where are they?
डालो।
Are you understanding, my dear friend? It is given to the companies as a service. Complete data center is given as a service. Server is ready in 2 minutes. Server is in front of me. I want to increase the CPU memory of the server, I can increase. I want to increase the disk of the server, I can increase. I need to take the backup of the server, I can do that. I need to perform disaster recovery, I can do it. I want to perform monitoring, I can do it. So my dear friends, this is the power of cloud. So a company was impressed and the company said that, now this is a different company. Now this company said that we want to have a website like www.shop.com, and we have decided to go for Azure cloud. We will use Azure cloud. Now my dear friends, so this company has decided to go for Azure cloud,
इसमें नहीं दिख
but
रहा
this
था ना
company
आंगनबाड़ी में होती
has
थी
some
नहीं दिख रहा था
है ना?
questions, has some queries, and I will
लास्ट
put down
में
the
भी गई थी।
queries
कोई दिक्कत
one by one, and we will see that can Azure cloud resolve these queries.
वही तो बाहर।
So the first query of this company is,
नहीं है लॉगिन यार करो
the
लॉगिन
company says that we require 2 servers. For our website, we require 2 servers. And the CPU memory of the server should be 4 core, meaning 4 CPU, 16 GB RAM, 4
ये
CPU,
खुल गया।
4 core, 16 GB RAM.
डब्ल्यू सी हाँ उस पे आप कर दो पेमेंट
So initially we require 4
Application number
CPU, 4 core, 16 GB RAM. But after 1 month,
ऐसा हो
after
नहीं
the
सकता।
usage, if we
इसलिए
feel
पहले सबसे पहले पहुंचाया मैंने स्क्रीनशॉट
that
लेके
4
तुरंत।
core, 16
क्यों
GB
आई?
RAM is very high,
नहीं होती।
so can we resize,
चुप करे और किसी का
can
फॉर्म
we
ना
go and can we scale down, can we scale down, meaning can we
And
reduce
क्या
from
नाम?
4 core to 2 core, 8 GB RAM,
2091
and if we feel
2091
if we feel that
वो ऊपर ऊपर
we
ये जनवरी
are getting the CPU, the memory, it is less. If we feel that the CPU memory is less, then can we scale?
सही है कि नहीं
Can we scale up? Can we increase from 4 to 8 core and 32 GB RAM? So, my dear friends,
हो गया
Azure says yes,
तो प्रिंट करवा के दो ना प्रिंट
it is possible.
बड़ा बड़ा प्रिंट निकला
Yes, you can resize. And the answer given in the chat box is
प्रिंटर
correct.
निकलेगा बोथ साइड कर दे
Azure says yes, you can scale up, you can scale down. But in case of Azure, you need to have a downtime. Why? Because server will restart.
कितनी अच्छी बोतल लगा
Can
है।
we avoid restart? No, you cannot
Very
avoid
different.
restart in
फोटो के
Azure.
50
It
रुपए कौन
will
दे?
restart. It's the default behavior. So the option they have given here, that is if I go here, if I go to the virtual machine, and if I click on resize,
180 रुपए कटे उसके कितने कटे
or only size, here
इस पे
availability
आपको
plus
कमीशन भी
sales size.
मिलेगा ना
मिलेगा
So we can select the CPU
और मेरा वो
memory,
देना सब
we can increase,
इसको डिजिटल बनवाओ ना
our current size is this.
इसको डिजिटल क्यों नहीं बनवा रहे हो
Okay, current size, default
और
current size
डिजिटल
is
बनवा लो यार
this.
इसको
2 core 4 GB RAM.
हाँ दिया
हाँ।
I can increase the size,
और उसके प्रिंटर में देती है
I can decrease the size. So that is possible, but the server will restart. And then they give a message. If the virtual machine is currently running, changing its size will cause it to restart. Stopping the VM may reveal additional size.
Yeah.
That we will learn. What is the meaning of stopping the
यही
VM?
हो गया
So that is an important point that we will learn in the upcoming lecture. That is difference between stop and stop deallocate. What is the meaning of this stop? It will take time. Technical discussions will take time, and that will happen in the session.
वो कहाँ है?
Now,
इसको
so
काट दो,
what
बोली पापा को तो तेरे पापा को तो
query of the customer is, of the client is that we want to
Yeah.
resize. So Azure says
इसको
yes,
काट दो ना सही से
वीडियो
you can resize, but you have to take care of it.
आगे पीछे नहीं देता इकट्ठा एक साथ दे देता
Now, going to the next point, my dear friend,
सेव कर लो
the next point is,
अच्छी तरह बनवा देना
the next query of
अरे
the client is that we have 2 servers, and in each server, this is server 1, server 2,
काम आएगा
in each server we have C drive. We want the C drive of 512 GB. And we want the D drive of 1 TB. So initially we want this C drive of 512 GB, D drive of 1 TB. Now, after few days or after few weeks, if we feel that we have to increase the size of the drive, like for example, the D drive we have to increase from 1 TB to 2 TB. Is it possible? So Azure says yes, it is
118
possible. You can
प्लस
increase the size.
50 कितने हो गए
You can increase the size of your disk. You can add more disk. Depending upon your requirement, you can add more disk. So Azure says yes, it is possible. Now we got a question. Do we need to pay extra for scaling? Yes. More CPU, more memory.
बना दे
Extra charges will be applicable.
कार्ड
Now for charges,
card
we
में
have a
smart
separate
ID लगी
lecture
है।
altogether. That is known as cost calculation.
अभी कैसे
Now going ahead,
कहाँ करके बताओ दिखाओ मैसेज दिखाना पड़ता है
So Azure says yes, it is
मेरी मार्केट
possible,
में लेमिनेशन कर देती
but there
थी
is a
दुकान पे
problem.
लेमिनेशन
तो दो
The
ना
problem is,
दोनों
can we decrease the
दो कर दिया
size of the disk?
के बाद में लेमिनेशन हाँ
Decrease size of disk.
सच में
Here the answer is no.
प्रिंट आउट भी सेंड कर दिया मैंने वो
You cannot decrease the size of the disk.
चल ले
218 रुपए नहीं दे रहे हैं
ये ले
Now what to do? There is a workaround.
कमल कार्ड के
So
लिए वो
when the
दीजिए
topic
ना
will
आपका
come,
सॉन्ग
my
है
dear friend, there is a big topic altogether just on disk. Just on disk, there is a big topic altogether.
निगम से फोन आता है
And
वहां
that
साइन करने
is
जाना पड़ता है ठीक है
managed
ऐसे
disk.
प्रोसेस करने के बाद
So the three type of disk is there:
15 दिन के अंदर में
OS
फोन आएगा
disk, data disk, temporary disk. Then we will see
वो वाला बड़ा
what
वाला
is
अपना
OS
खिलवा
disk.
तो एक लग
Can
डाल
we
दो वहां
increase
पे
the size of the OS disk? Can we decrease the size of the OS disk? Then what is data disk? What is temporary disk? What is the purpose of this disk?
लेमिनेशन
Then different type of scenarios where the disk will be used. Then different type of disk: premium disk, standard disk, ultra disk, where they will fit.
क्या नाम आपका
Then what is IOPS, what is throughput. Then we will take up a scenario where we will discuss the importance of the VM size along with the disk size. So there we will take up an example to understand that if you are having a disk, huge disk, then you need to have a proper VM also with proper CPU and memory. That in this example we will get an understanding.
गर्म हुई कि नहीं हुई
Then we
उसको
will
नहीं
learn
डाल
about
के
Azure locks. Azure locks are not related to disk, but
हाँ
they are related to a thing which is known as avoiding accidental deletion. For example, someone accidentally delete the server and says, I don't know. Are how you don't know? For example, someone does this,
बहुत पुरानी फोटो डाली इसमें तो
accidentally delete something
आधार कार्ड की है क्या
and said, I was not knowing. Obviously, in production environment, it is not acceptable, but it can happen that the server was not usable. Someone
पढ़ाई
felt that it
शिक्षा
is
ये सब
unused for the last 6 months and there is no owner. Rarely it happens, but human error can happen. No one can deny that
22
human
सेकंड
error
स्कूल
cannot
आता
happen.
है मिडिल
Human
आता है
make mistake. So it can happen that someone by mistake delete the server. Now to how to avoid? So Azure is given to avoid accidental deletion, use locks. To avoid such kind of
काम
disaster,
कौन सा
use
करते हो आप लोग
locks. So locks is very small but very interesting topic, powerful topic that we will see. Then talking about disk,
इसमें
data disk,
जैसे कि
OS
कपड़े बनने
disk,
वाले
temporary
लोगों का
disk,
बनता है
data disk are
है ना
extra
कृषि
disk. So
किसान
whenever
का
you
जो
create a
खेती का
server,
जो
the
काम करते हैं
first
वो वाला
disk which is
होता है
there,
किसान वाला
it
डाल
is
देते
known as the OS disk, the C
मैक्सिमम सभी
drive,
लोग वही डलवाते
because it has the operating system installed. The operating system is
मोबाइल
installed
नंबर
here
बताइए
in the C drive, in the OS disk of
99
the
07
server. Then the other disk,
25
other
26
drives,
25
they are known as data disk. So disk lecture will come approximate like 4 hours, where we will learn how to increase the size of the OS disk.
जब आई तो मैं बता
How can we decrease the size of the data disk? Can we decrease the size of the OS disk?
नहीं आती
If not, if we cannot decrease, then is there any workaround? There is a workaround that we will discuss. Increase is possible, but decrease is not possible. For decrease, there is a workaround. Then we will show, because it is all practical. So we will see things
हेलो
in action. How to
Yes.
increase the disk size, how to decrease the disk size,
हाँ
how
हाँ
to add
जाएंगे
more disk, like that.
सुशील
So
के
my
नाम
dear
से किया है
friends,
ना
going ahead,
हाँ
this OS disk consists of the complete operating system. All OS related files are there in the OS disk, which is known as the C drive. So from here we have to go, from here we have to go to the portal, we have to search for the disk, and this is the OS disk. OS disk meaning C drive. The server without the OS disk is impossible, because the operating system is there in the disk. So without operating system, how the server will work? So whenever we create the server, along with the server, the OS disk is mandatory. Now the charges of server is different. and the charges of the disk is different. Charges calculation we have kept a separate lecture. Okay, in separate lecture we will take you to the Azure pricing calculator and we will discuss about charges. So here is the OS disk. The default OS disk size is what? The default OS disk size that we can see is 127 GB. If I click on the OS disk and if I click on size plus performance, so if I want to decrease, it is not allowing me. It says, no, you can't decrease. I say, I want to reduce from 127 to 64. No, you cannot do that. Azure does not support reducing disk size due to avoid data loss. Then I said, okay, can I increase? Azure says, yes, you can increase, but you have to stop the VM. You require a downtime. Now in OS disk, the requirement is different. A downtime is required to increase the disk. Data disk requirement is different. That all things we will take up in the disk chapter. But the point is, Azure says, yes, it is possible to increase and it is not possible to decrease. For decrease, there is a workaround that we will discuss. Okay, so this is the next query of that client. Now the third query of that client is, second query was related to disk. Now the third query of that client is, we have two servers and we want to use both of them. We have two servers and we want to use both of them. So in this case, the client asks Azure that, do you have load balancer? Load balancer. Azure says, yes, we have load balancer. And what is the use of this load balancer? See, this load balancer, whenever anyone access your website, for example, the user is accessing the website, user is accessing the website www.shop.com, www.shop.com. So if the user is accessing the website www.shop.com, then what will happen? Then, my dear friends, the request will go to the load balancer. The load balancer will send the request to the server. Then when you access this, when someone accesses this website, the request will go to the load balancer. The load balancer will send the request to this server. So the job of the load balancer is to perform load balancing so that the load is distributed on both the servers. Okay. Now, for example, in company, we have team leader. And what happens? For example, this is a desktop team leader. And these are the engineers. Desktop engineer 1, desktop engineer 2.
हो सकता है वो 50 रुपए उधर भाभी ले ले उसके लिए.
And whenever any user complained that keyboard is not working, the request goes to the team leader. The team leader sends the request to the engineer. Hey, you go solve the problem, replace the keyboard. Now if someone complained that monitor is not working, the request goes to the team leader. And the team leader sends the request to the engineer. Hey, you go and change the monitor.
ये तो है ही.
Are you getting the point, my dear friend?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?    Are you getting the point?    Are you getting the point?    Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are you getting the point?   Are So
और
that
जाति
is the
पार तक कौन
job
बना देगा मेरे बच्चों
of
का मेल
load
क्या
balancer.
फाइनल और एमए की है फटने लग गई
That is the
पूरी
job of load balancer. Here load balancer is there. Load balancer. So load balancer and content delivery plus create. So when the load balancer topic will come, my dear friend, we will understand standard load balancer, gateway load balancer, public load balancer, private
कितने
load
प्रिंट आउट
balancer,
निकाल
regional
दिए
load balancer, global load balancer. It will take time. Load balancer is one of the popular service in Azure. Now we got a question that I got a message, my dear friend from Deepak, that same is possible in Google Cloud or AWS. See, it is possible, but services are different there. Whatever we are doing here, for example, we are creating server here, it is possible in other cloud providers, but their services, their concept, their terminology, their portal, that is totally different. And why Azure is powerful in the market? Azure belongs to Microsoft. Is there any company in any big enterprise you go, you will find Microsoft products? Correct? Am I right? Microsoft products you will find in every company, right, my dear friends? So Microsoft is always there in every company. So why Microsoft is in demand? Because it is already there in the company. So it is easy for Microsoft people to take their already existing customers to Azure cloud. And the other thing is Microsoft is easy, it is user friendly. Out of all the cloud, Microsoft cloud is simple and easy to understand. So if you want to start learning cloud, the first learn Azure cloud. It is simple, it is easy, plus it belongs to Microsoft, and you know Microsoft is everywhere. Now going ahead, the next thing is this client query is resolved. Azure says, yes, we have load balancer. And with the help of load balancer, we can perform load balancing. Request will go to the load balancer. Load balancer will perform load balancing. Now the client asks, what if one of the server goes down? So Azure says that our load balancer is smart. It checks the health of the server. If the server is not healthy, then the load balancer will not send the request on that server. It will send the request on other healthy servers. So that we will show you how the load balancer checks the health of the server. For example, one engineer head down. I am not feeling well, and head down for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. The team leader will not send request to that engineer because that engineer's head is down, not feeling well. Similarly, here, my dear friends, the load balancer checks the health of the server. Now, how it checks, that we will see in the actual session. It's a big session on load balancer. Now, going ahead, the next query is, so how many queries we have done? Any thought? Anyone, any thought? How many queries? Perfect. So we have done 3 queries. Now the 4th query is, the 4th query is about auto scaling. Auto scaling means automatically increase the number of servers and automatically decrease the number of servers. Automatically increase and automatically decrease. Auto scaling.
अभी क्या कर रहा है
So
देखो
this client has a requirement that client says that okay,
बढ़िया दिख रही
you have load balancer
बढ़िया दिख रही है भाई,
and
एक
load
नंबर।
balancer is connected to internet. Perfect.
6
Two
और एक
servers
7
are there behind the load balancer. The way team leader has engineers, server has load balancer as servers.
मुझको कर
And
पाना है,
these are the users who are accessing the website. Now the client says that we have a sales team and the sales team does marketing, advertisements, ads, they give offers. So what if more number of people started accessing the website and these two servers are not able to handle the load? Then what will happen? My website will crash. So we want that if the number of people are increasing, more number of people are there and they are accessing the website, then we need to increase the number of servers. We need to increase the number of servers. Now, my dear friends, here auto scaling means increasing the number of servers. Third server will be created, fourth server will be created, and then they will be ready for action. They will be ready to take the load. The request goes to the load balancer will send them. Meaning what the auto scaling will do, it will create the server and it will add the server in the load balancer also. Like more engineers are required, more work is there, few engineers are taken and given to the team leader, do this. And when the number of people who are accessing the website, they are less, then automatically the number of servers will be reduced. Why to pay extra when less number of people are accessing the website? Two servers are enough now. 4 server you have to pay 4 server charge, 2 server you have to pay 2 server charge. So when you require, this is the beauty of cloud, when you require, the resources are instantly available on demand, and when you don't require, they go away. And how much you have used, that much you have to pay. So auto scaling means automatically increasing the number of servers,
पानी तेज आ रहा है ना।
automatically increasing the number of servers. When more number of people are accessing the website, automatically increasing the number of servers, and when less number of people are accessing the website, automatically decreasing the number of servers. Here one thing can come, that instead of automatically increasing the number of servers, can we resize the existing server? Can we resize, meaning can we increase the CPU and the memory of the existing server? There is a problem which I have discussed in that. Think, what is the problem? We can resize, but there is a problem with that. Think. What is the problem? Perfect. You need to restart. So there is a downtime. Now imagine if you restart and the website is down. So the best solution is to automatically increase the number of servers. Keep these 2 servers as it is, don't touch them. Automatically increase the number of servers. So that is what auto scaling does. What auto scaling does, it automatically increase the number of servers and automatically decrease the number of servers. But is there any criteria to increase? Yes, there is a criteria. That is known as metric. For example, the increase is known as scale out. It is known as what? Scale out. Increase. So for example, the metric here is, the criteria is the CPU. that if the average CPU of all of my server is more than 70% for 5 minutes, if the average CPU of all of my server is more than 70%, for example, this is 80%, this is 85%, more than 70% for 5 minutes, not a spike, for 5 minutes, then what? Then create one
पेज
server.
अच्छे होना ना
Create one server. One server will be created. Put in the load balancer, ready for action. You will see all these things. I'm just putting here few lines. When the actual topic will come, it's a 2 hours topic. Then we will understand in depth. CPU is one metric. There are a lot of other metrics also, which we will show you. Then scale in. Scale in meaning decrease. If the average CPU of all of my servers is less than 50% for 5 minutes, less than 50% for 5 minutes, then what to do? Then delete one server. So then the server, if the average CPU of all of my VM is less than 50% for 5 minutes, if it is less than 50% for 5 minutes, then delete one server. Now the question here is that how many servers it can create. So we have to first specify the minimum and the maximum. Minimum 2 servers should always be there. Maximum, for example, it can go up to 10. Meaning the scale out, it will scale out. Third server, fourth server, fifth, sixth, seven, eight, till how much? So we have to define that maximum is 10. When it will scale in, it will delete. One server, two server, third server, fourth server. How much it will delete? How many it will delete? It will not delete we don't want to delete everything. Website is down. Are you getting the point? Scale in, all the servers are gone. So we don't want that. So minimum 2, minimum and maximum we have to specify, my dear friend. First we have to specify this, then we have to do the scaling. Okay. Will it take same time it took for us manually earlier? It is smart. It will take some time, but it detects that okay, now the CPU is high, and it will quickly create the server and put them into the load balancer. So at least it will take 1 to 2 minutes for that, for creation. Now, my dear friends, going ahead, that's why we put the CPU criteria less, 70%. We don't want it to peak up to 90% and go into the hang state. 70% is good standard. 70% for scale out and 50% for scale
ये
in.
चीज मेरे को भी करना है।
So Azure says, yes, it is possible. We have the feature of auto scaling, which is also known as scale set. Which is also known as scale set. So with this, you can auto scale in and out. Automatically scale virtual machine resource in and out. Scale out scaling. Now the next query of the client is, the client says that we want to take the backup of the servers. What if there is some attack, ransomware attack, server is corrupted? At least we have backup. From the backup we can restore. So Azure says, yes, we have a service, and using that service you can take backup. Now when the lecture will come, we will explain you. One method is manual, that is known as snapshot. Other method is automatic, that is using Azure Recovery Service Vault. So Azure says yes, manual method, automatic method using PowerShell also we will show that how you can take the backup in Azure. Now, snapshot is a big topic altogether, meaning when the point will come, we will learn about snapshots, data disk, images, snapshots. So when the snapshots will come, when the topic will come, we will learn about snapshots. So my dear friend, Azure says yes, we have a service for you. We have manual also option. For example, you have a server, daily you have to take the backup at 9 p.m. Manual is challenging for you, daily you cannot go and take the backup. Then automatic option we have that will take the backup automatically at 9 p.m. Then correct, we can schedule the backup. Then we will see how to restore also. So we will learn how to take the backup. We will learn how to restore also. So Azure says yes, it is possible. All options are available for backup. You can backup also, you can restore also. Now the next thing is, this company says that what if the central India meaning Pune. For example, this company has created the servers in Pune, and this company has a fear that what if the central India meaning Pune data center goes down, meaning this client is talking about disaster recovery DR. So this client asks Azure that do you have DR, disaster recovery? What if there is some disaster in central India? And because of that, our data centers are affected. And our load balancer servers, everything, they are down and people are not able to access our website. Then in that case, what will happen? Load balancer is down, server is down, people are not able to access the website. So Azure says that we have a solution. We have a service which is known as disaster recovery service, known as the site recovery service, ASR. Name of the service is Azure Site Recovery Service, ASR. Using this service, you can perform disaster recovery. The beauty of cloud is that in on-premises environment, if you have your data center in Pune, then you have to create a data center in Mumbai as a DR. So Mumbai can be your DR, Chennai can be your DR. You have to create the data center. But in cloud, there is no need for you to create. It's all ready-made. Data center is given to you as a service. So here from the list of the data centers, from the data center, you can select, like for example, you select West India Data Center, Mumbai. So if there is some disaster in central India, then because of the disaster recovery service, your setup will be there in West India, Mumbai. Now how it will happen, that we will see. We have to create the load balancer. Load balancer is connected to internet. Live replication will happen. Continuous replication will happen. Live data will go from central India to West India continuously. That all things we will see. It's a approximate 2 hours lecture of disaster recovery. Then we have to perform failover. After performing failover, the servers will be created and your website will be available for you in the Mumbai data center. Now, one more thing here, just using site recovery, it will not work in this scenario. Why? Because, for example, there is some disaster. In central India, you perform failover, you get your servers. Because of live replication, you get the data and you get your servers here with the almost latest data. You get your servers here. But the people who are accessing the website www.shop.com, their request will still go to the Central India load balancer. Central India load balancer is down. For them, the website will be down if the request is going here. So what we have to do, we have to divert the request to the West India load balancer. For that, we require one more service, which is known as traffic manager. It's a different service for traffic manager, for traffic management. And because of the traffic manager service, if the Central India data center goes down, you perform failover, you get your servers here. Now you want that whenever anyone access the website, request should go to the West India load balancer, then only they will be able to see the website. So in this case, you have to use a traffic manager. Traffic manager also, it's approximate 2 hours lecture where we will see how we can create this kind of setup, this kind of scenario we can do with the help of traffic manager service. Now let's take a question. Is it mandatory while preparing our infra on Azure, cost also matter for small scale company? Cost matters, my dear friend. So there is a lecture for cost. As I said, most of your queries will get resolved. So we will first complete and then we will take up the queries. But for your query, my dear friend Rohit, the point is that cost is important. Costing is very important. That's why we have a separate lecture on cost calculation. We will take you to the pricing calculator and then we will calculate the cost of the virtual machine, the disk, the public IP. So the point is that with that we get an understanding that okay, this is how the costing happens. So cost plays an important role. And for that, Azure says you cannot memorize the cost. So we are giving you Azure pricing calculator. Now, how to use the pricing calculator? We have a complete approximate 2 hours lecture on cost calculation and cost saving, not just cost calculation. There are techniques to save cost. See, in company at high level, when you go, it becomes important for you to understand the costing part and to save the cost also. Okay, so that plays a very important role and we understand that. There is a cost for data download. See, there is a cost for almost everything in Azure. Something is free, which we will discuss.
चांद
We
में
will
आएगा
tell
लिख ले
you
दे रहे
that
हो
this is
ये
chargeable,
तो
this
चांदी
is
का
costly, this is
स्टोरी
free.
में आएगा ना
When we will learn a topic, we will show you, we will share it that this is chargeable, this is free. There are some free things also,
देख
but most of the thing in Azure is chargeable. Questions related to preparation of DR site while preparing the site for the first time. See, that we will take up in the session, but the number one and the
चांद
important
वन में आता
question
चांद
is
टू में आता कहाँ में आता
that
चांद तो एक ही
the
है
DR
डिवाइड
site
होता है
should be in the same
चिगाड़ा को भी दो भागों में डिवाइड किया
चांद बंद नहीं
same
होगा
geography.
नोटिफिकेशन देख उसमें
For example, Central India, Pune.
आप मतलब कि मिलने वाली है
Obviously, you don't want
हाँ
your
यस
DR to be in US. So the first criteria is that DR should be in the same geography. So what Azure has done, Azure has created geography because Azure understand compliance. So Azure has created geography. So Azure says that this is the geography. In India's geography, Central India, South India, West India is there. Now we will take up the questions. See, first let me complete. Otherwise, we will go in question answer form. And that we don't want this session to go, right? So my dear friend, first I will complete because a lot of things I have to take. Then
क्या
automatically
बोलते
your
हैं
queries
टॉनी का
will get
वोटर कार्ड
resolved.
बन गया क्या
because then what will happen, a lot of things which I have to take, that I can miss. Okay, and so many things I have to take, because so many things I
वो
take, that
कहाँ है उसके पास?
automatically your queries will get resolved. But for your question, my dear
हाँ
friend
तो
Hemant,
उसके
obviously
वोटर कार्ड
Intune
की
is a
दोनों
separate
साइड
course
की फोटो
altogether. We
अच्छे
don't
से
have
खींच के
that
पहुंचा,
course.
तेरे वोटर
Okay,
कार्ड के
Intune is not a topic, it's a big
फोटो
course
कॉपी
altogether.
अच्छे से
So we don't have the
फोटो खींच के
Intune course.
पहुंचा दोनों साइड की।
Now coming to the
उसके
next
बाद
point.
में तेरा मूल निवासी
So what is the next
प्रमाण पत्र
point,
मेरे
my dear
को
friends?
सेंड कर, और उसका मूल
How many
निवासी
points we
सेंड
have
कर,
completed?
उसके 10वीं की 12वीं की
Any
मार्कशीट सेंड
thought?
कर, तेरी 12वीं की मार्कशीट सेंड कर, और क्या बोलते बोलते हैं यार,
Perfect.
ग्रेजुएशन की
So
तेरी
we
मार्कशीट
have
सेंड कर,
completed
और उसकी
6
ग्रेजुएशन
points.
की मार्कशीट सेंड कर।
Now we will come to point number 7. In point number 7,
ऑनलाइन वाली वैसे
for example,
वही
the
सेंड कर,
company says that we have an on-premises
सेंड कर अभी,
office.
तुरंत काम कर उसमें।
We have an on-premises office in Mumbai. Now, before going ahead, do you know where Atari class office is located? Do you have an idea where we have an office? Meaning we are taking training on cloud, but we have a physical office. Correct. So our office, my dear friend, is in Mumbai. It is in Kurla.
बैच वाली कौन सी फोटो है? ओपन कर, कोई है
And I
नहीं
will
है।
share you some
है ना, तेरे पे लगी वाली
interesting
फोटो है उसमें, वो
things.
कहाँ की
555
फोटो?
ओपन कर।
तुम्हारी कोई
If you
फोटो ही
go to
नहीं है।
Google
555
and if
ओपन
you
कर।
search
नहीं छाप से दूंगा।
Atari IT training,
कहाँ तुमको फोटो कहाँ
Atari
दिख गई
IT
है
training,
बताओ?
वो 555 ओपन कर उधर।
किधर ट्रिपल भाई?
ऑल
then
फोटोज
you
के
will
अंदर है।
see
हाँ
that Atari classes has
बैक
two
कर आजा के
office.
अंदर है।
हाँ
One office is in
जा जा
Kanakya
जा जा जा।
Zillion,
कहाँ?
हो
Kanakya
गई
Zillion
वो
building.
ओपन
Other
कर।
office is in
बैच
Betunur
वाली कोई फोटो है कि
apartment.
नहीं कर
ना
I take training from the Betunur apartment. And
ये
these
चश्मे
are
चमक
the
रहा है ना।
reviews, this
ये
1.3K,
चश्मे
these are
चमकने
the
वाली है इधर।
reviews of the past student who have done
ये नहीं
training, meaning either they have done MCSC or
ये है
Azure or CCNA
राजा
training.
चश्मे चमकने वाली।
थोड़ा ऊपर में
So
देख।
you can go, and if you want to know more about the trainer, you can go
ये
and
भी
check
बना
here
सकते हैं।
also the
ये
reviews
वाली
of the
बनाते
past
हैं,
students, those people
सोशल
who
मीडिया
have
पर डालेंगे।
done training
अरे
of
यार कहाँ
either, because I take 3 courses.
कहाँ नहीं तो
So those people who have done training of MCSC or CCNA or Azure, you can see the reviews of the past students. So my dear friends, going ahead, if I click on images, and in images, you can see that this is the Atari class office, this is the Kanakya Zillion office, and this is the Betunur office. So if you are in classroom, my dear friend, classroom people, you have to stay. After the class, I will come, we will meet. So we have hybrid training, meaning either you can connect from the class or you can connect from your home. So if you are in Mumbai, you can come to classroom. We have AC, we have big screen. All these things are there, but you will be connected online. So it's an online training. Either you can connect from your home or either you can connect from the class. An Atari class online training, see, people are happy. We have trained thousands of students and they are happy with the online training. Why? Because Atari class online training teaching method is unique, where you perform live training along with the trainer, live hands-on practical training. So my dear friends, obviously people are happy, so you will be happy. Now, can you please tell me from which location you have connected? Okay, so I will take the location name so that we have an idea. So Saudi, Pune, Dombivli. We have people from Mumbai, Kandivali, Vapi, Central India. Central India, wow. So you have used the word itself. Mumbai, Powai, Pune, Badlapur, Kolkata, Ahmedabad, New Delhi, Kolkata, Pune, Indore, Kandivali, Gujarat, Silvassa, Mumbai, Sambhajinagar, Chogeshwari, Panvel, Pune, Ambarnath, Thane, and in okay, Khargar, Navi Mumbai. Now, my dear friend Pradeep, you are replying to a message. Reply to everyone. So you are in Khargar, Navi Mumbai. That is great. Pune, Qatar, Mumbai, Pune, Thane. So many people there. South India, Chennai, Pune, Dombivli, Thane, Kolhapur, Chiplun, Chennai,
चिरंजीव को हाईलाइट
Mumbai,
कर दो यार।
Thane, Mysore,
चिरंजीव को
Mangalore.
हाईलाइट कर दो।
So we have
यार
so many
चिरंजीव को
people
हाईलाइट
from
कर,
different part of our country.
या
Hyderabad,
फिर उसको वहां से निकाल के ऊपर लगा सकते हैं तो वो कर
Mumra,
ले।
Kurla West.
हाँ
हाँ,
Okay.
थोड़ा सा उस साइड में।
So now, my dear friends, so we have people from different part of our country and different part of the world also. So we welcome you all. So we have people from Pune, Mumra, Chandigarh. That's great. So my dear friends, we welcome you all. Now going ahead. For example, this client says that we have an on-premises office in Mumbai. In Mumbai, we have office, we have computers, and we will be having servers in Azure cloud. And what we want is, we want to take the remote
साइड में, उस साइड में,
of
उस
the
साइड।
servers
अबे इधर यहाँ लगा ना। हाँ, बस।
using the private IP. See, when we create the server, we will discuss private IP, public IP, all the discussion we will
नेचुरल है
do.
ना, वो रहने दो।
So we want to take the remote using the private IP, meaning we want a private connection. We want to upload files, upload documents. We want a private connection, safe connection, secure connection. We want a private setup. So in this case, Azure says yes. If you want a private connection, if you want a secure connection, and companies require this. They want a private connection between their on-premises office and Azure cloud. This is a very common requirement. So Azure says yes, it is possible. We have two options for you. One is VPN, other is express route. Now VPN is created over the internet. Express route is like point-to-point MPLS, dedicated private connection. Express route is more costly but more stable, more reliable. So VPN is very popular. VPN cost is less. It is created over the internet with less hardware. Now, when the actual lecture will come, then we will understand in details about the VPN, the difference between the VPN, then different types of VPN, site to site, point to site, then express route, then the difference between VPN and express route, where they can be used. So Azure says yes, you can connect your on-premises to Azure cloud in a private way, and we have two options. One is VPN, other is express route, which we will discuss in the session. So my dear friends, now the next thing is, so this query of the client is resolved that yes, VPN service is there, express route is service is there. These two options are available for connecting on premises to Azure cloud in a private way, secure way. Then the next query of this client is, this client says that we have an on-premises office, and in this on-premises office, we have a domain environment. We have an on-premises domain controller. domain controller. See, those people who are working in the company, my dear friends, your laptops, it is a part of the domain. Your company might be having an on-premises domain environment, and you use a user like ABC @ for example, the domain name is atari.com, abc @atari.com. Your on-premises domain is, the domain name is example atari.com. So you use that user to log in into the computer, and your user is created here. When you join the company, the user was created in the on-premises domain controller. This is handled by the server team. The server team, the system admin, they will handle all these things. So the point is, this client says that we have an on-premises domain environment. We have a domain controller where all the employees users are there. So can we use the on-premises username and password? Can we use on-premises? Wherever I feel, I use the notepad, especially when long lines which I have to speak. Instead of speaking, I better feel I should use
अरे वो
notepad,
वीडियो तो देखने दो.
because you might miss some points. So can we use on-premises
तुम मत देखो, मैं देखना है मेरे को.
domain
पिछले खतरनाक है.
username and password to log in into portal.azure.com?
नहीं बताइए कौन सा काम था. कौन सा काम
So
था.
this is a very popular concept,
पैसे
and
अभी
it
नहीं
is used in the
निकलेंगे भैया.
companies.
है
This is known as single sign-on,
ये
SSO.
पूछ रहा हूँ.
तो वही चीज तो मैं बता रहा हूँ, आप पूछोगे तो मैं बताऊंगा.
So with the help of on-premises username and password,
तुम मालूम.
can we log in into portal.azure.com? The answer is yes, we can. Otherwise, then we have to create a separate username and password for portal. Otherwise, we have to create a separate username and password for portal. Like for example, you use single sign-on in your life also. Gmail login works at most of the website, correct? Most of the website, they do not require their own username and password. They will allow you to log in. They will allow you to authenticate using Google username and password.
Yeah.
Correct? That is
वो तो
what is
देखना
this?
था.
क्या
Single
देखना है
sign-on.
तुझको?
मेरे
जो मैं
वीडियो
तेरे को भेजा था वो.
So without,
क्या है वो.
sorry, because of single sign-on, you have to remember less username and password. Without single sign-on, then every website having its own username and password, then it is challenging to memorize them. So here also single sign-on is used. So instead of creating a separate username and password for the portal, we can use the on-premises username and password to log in into the portal. So this is possible, and it is a big lab. It is known as the Entra ID Connect. So Entra ID is the previous name of Azure Active Directory. Previous name was Azure ID. Now the name is Entra ID. So using Entra ID Connect, we can log in using the on-premises username and password. We can log in into portal.azure.com. So the client query is, can we log in? And the answer is yes, we can log in. Can we log in? Can we use on-premises domain username and password to log in into portal.azure.com? The answer is yes. Now, my dear friends, the next query of client is, the client says that we have users here, we have administrators. We have administrator, we have Azure administrator in the company, level 3 admin, senior admin we have, or we, for simplicity, senior administrator we have, junior Azure admin we have junior Azure administrator, junior admin. So what we want is that the senior Azure admin should be able to do everything. like create servers, delete servers, create load balancer, create storage. But the junior Azure admin should only have view only permission, view only. If we give full access to junior admin is junior people, especially when we are not that much experience, we are more curious. And there are some people, they want to do everything in the live environment. No, I will check. And in that checking, they do disaster also. So the point is, can we give the access like this? Now I got a message. Can you please repeat the last 2 minutes? See here. So we are talking about point number 9. In point number 9, the client says that we have two admin. One is Azure admin, but senior, other is junior Azure admin. Junior Azure admin, we want to give view only access, read only access. Senior admin, we want to give full access, complete access. So in that case, can we give? So Azure says yes, we can give. Azure says that there is a concept known as RBAC role, role-based access control, plus identity and access management, IAM. Using this, you can give the proper role. So you can give the role for Azure Administrator Senior, there is a role. For Junior Administrator, there is a role. So that concept is known as RBAC role. And how to give that role? That role is given with the concept of identity and access management. So now this will come when we will deep dive in the lectures. Then we will see enter ID. What is enter ID? Then what is RBAC rule, how to give the access, who need the access, where they need, what they can do. Then what are the places where you can give the access. See, demo lecture is a very top level lecture. When the actual lecture will come, we will understand things in depth and we will see in action. This is not theory. This is a live hands-on practical training course. So we will see different type of roles and we will see them in action. Now I got a message. Do we have a break today? In demo, there is no break. Demo is approximately 2.5 something to 45 minutes, something like this. Now I miss from the domain username. See, domain username, what you have missed, my dear friend, what we have discussed is we were talking that if the company has an on-premises domain environment, they have on-premises domain controller. Using that domain username and password, you log in into your computer. So can we use that username and password to log in into the portal so that we don't require a separate username and the password for the portal? So the answer is yes, we can do that. And that concept is known as Enter ID Connect. Now, after that, can we give role to the user so that they can create some servers, delete some servers, or they can only see what is there after login? Can we give them roles so that they can do some work? So the answer is yes, we can give them with the help of RBAC rule. Do we need to subscribe on Azure portal while performing the practical? No, my dear friend, you have to create an account. We will come to that question also, that how will you people do the practical, what you have to do for the practical part. Now coming to that point number 10. Point number 10 is about monitoring. The client says that we want to monitor the CPU, we want to monitor the memory, we want to monitor the disk utilization of the server. We want that if the server restart, we should get an alert. CPU goes high, memory goes high, disk utilization goes high, server restart, server shut down. We should get an alert. So Azure says, no worries. We have a service for you. And that service is known as the Azure Monitor Service. Azure Monitor Service. Meaning we don't require here SolarWinds, OP Manager. We don't need here. Azure has an inbuilt cloud native service known as the Azure Monitor Service. Using that service, you can create alerts that we will see how to create the alerts in upcoming sessions. Now we got a question in Azure, all should be connected with Active Directory. See, when the topic will come, then you will get a clarity that what is the structure of Azure. Where is the account? Where is the subscription? Where is the resource group? Where are the resources? And where is the Active Directory, meaning Entra ID? That also we will discuss. And then how it is connected to your on-premises environment. That also scenario we will discuss. Now, my dear friends, does Azure VM require VPAT? No, nothing is required like that. Now, coming to the next point. The next point is, my dear friends, is about cost calculation. See, cost calculation and cost saving, they are very important. So the client says that we want to understand the cost before creating the servers in Azure cloud. Before going to Azure, we want to understand what will be the monthly charge, what will be the yearly charge. We want to see. Plus, does Azure gives any benefit? Does Azure has any option of cost saving? So Azure says yes, you can perform cost calculation, meaning cost analysis, and there are ways to save the cost like reserve instance, spot VM, saving plans. These are the ways to save the cost, Azure hybrid benefit, that we will see in the session. So there is a complete session we have kept on cost calculation and cost saving. Then the client says that we want to protect the servers. We want to protect the servers. We want security. So Azure has given something which is known as NSG. NSG is a firewall which is given for free. NSG is a firewall which is given for free. And this is a approximate 2 hours lecture where we will learn about NSG, that how NSG can be used to control the traffic, inbound rules, outbound rules, how it can be used to filter the packets, how you can block, how you can allow, how you can deny. So there is a complete lecture on this topic. It's a free firewall, very popular in Azure, that is known as NSG. Does course include on-premises to Azure migration? See, on-premises to Azure migration we would be discussing, but we have created a separate video on that topic. After doing the course, you will be able to understand that video, and there is a big requirement for that lab. We cannot do the lab, but we would be discussing on that on premises to Azure migration. So that we have kept at the last. So complete, this is like complete practical course. Only thing which we can't do is on premises to Azure migration, but concepts we will discuss. And after doing this course, at the ending we will discuss, so you will be able to understand that how the migration happens and all these things. Okay, what are the different phases of migrations and all this. Now Azure certification and cost. See, Azure certification cost is, the certification code is 104 and the cost is 4,800 plus GST plus tax, 4,800 Indian rupees plus tax. But to crack the exam, dumps are required. So what Atari class does, we give the dumps. Exam, international exam, if you want to give, you have to give. But we help you in dumps. $80-90 rupees dumps are there that we buy and give free to the students. Okay, using the dumps, the exam can be cracked. But my dear friend, I will tell you people one fact, because students come to me, they tell me that, sir, I am certified. I have the certificate. I have the international certificate. About the what about the final exam? That is the final exam of Azure, meaning the AZ104 certificate, international certificate they have. They have no knowledge of Azure. So they told me, sir, we have got the certificate,
चले
and you know how we get, meaning
तुम लेट
people who are
जाओगे
in IT, they know.
बताओ चाय
So
पी के आओ।
certification is just a piece of paper. When we go for interview, people will ask us, tell me what is resource group, tell me what is subscription, tell me what is VNet, tell me what is subnet, tell me how many IP addresses are reserved in each subnet, tell me what is availability set, tell me what is availability zone, tell me what are the different types of load balancer, tell me what is traffic manager, tell me how restoration happen in Azure, tell me how to perform disaster recovery, what are these steps, tell me what are the ways to connect your on-premises environment in a secure way to Azure cloud. Tell me what is the difference between VPN and express route. So are you getting the point, my dear friend? So Attari class will give you a training certificate that you have done training that will help you. International, do later. The DUMS will help you in that. Now what we will cover up? See, we have a defined syllabus.
मैं आता हूँ चाय पी
Now we will take up the
अभी
question,
भी
but
चलेंगे ना
first you
एग्जाम
have to
थोड़ी
give
देर
me some time so that
के।
I feel that
साढ़े
your
3 बज
queries
गए
are
ना।
there now. I will automatically resolve. So now, my dear friend, in Amol has put after that, you have to just give me time. Before that query, I will take. Okay. So you have to give me time.
वो
So
में
I don't want to go in question answer
म्यूचुअल
format
फंड में
because I
कितने होंगे
know your
तुम्हारे में?
queries,
हाँ
majority of them, and we
बताओ
will
तो।
take them in a
नहीं रे
proper way.
हाँ
सब लॉस में चले
फिर भी
सब
So
लॉस में
the
चले
before
दिखाओ
queries
तो
we will
भाई,
take, what should
दिखाने
I
में
do
क्या
first,
जाता है
Azure or
तुम्हारा यार।
AWS? My recommendation is go for Azure. Azure is simple, easy to understand. It belongs to Microsoft. Microsoft is there in the professional world in the company
एप्लीकेशन
itself.
कौन सी
तो
है
So it is simple and easy. Go for Azure. What about the final exam that we have discussed? I also want to know how this course will benefit in terms of DevOps. See, DevOps is automation in cloud. It is at the advanced level, high level. If you do not have knowledge of cloud, you won't be able to
लॉस
understand
कैसे हो
anything in
गया?
that. So definitely this course will
1
help you.
लाख का
This
81 है
course is the base of cloud.
हमारा
Here
अच्छा
you
है
will
यार।
get a proper understanding from the
हाँ
base. Your base will become strong.
देखो
And we will start from basics and slowly we will go to
36,000 के
the
41
high
में जा
level.
रहा है हमारा भी।
Now,
हाँ
अरे कम दिखा रहा हो चलन में
now
जाना
coming to the next point. The next point is, first I will complete, my dear friend. Then I will ask you people that do you have any queries, question?
हाँ
Then you can put, because
डॉक्टर
most of your queries will get automatically resolved when I take
वही
from
तो
my
मैं
side.
बोला।
So now I will take you, first of all, before taking you to the syllabus,
ये 81,000 मैंने बोला
I will take
ये
you to the
पागल
notes,
ऐसे नहीं
the
होता।
notes that you
1
will
लाख
get.
की क्या है?
See, we try to keep this notes in simple, easy form. We give the reference link also so that it is helpful to you. So this notes you will get Entra ID, a difference between RBAC role, what is infrastructure, platform, software as a service, then what is availability zone, what is availability set, benefit of availability zone, then what is availability set, fault domain, update domain,
1000 रुपए इसमें
then
दिए
difference
मैंने,
between
1000
stop
रुपए
and
निकाल दूंगा।
deallocate,
टाइम है
कोई मतलब नहीं है।
NIC card of the
मेरे
server,
अंदर
can we
पैसे
change
आ
the
जाएंगे
subnet
अपना
of the server, can we change the
हाँ
network of the server,
मेरा 1000
then
रुपए है इसमें,
NSG that
1000
we
रुपए
have
निकाल दूंगा
discussed.
कोई
टाइम
मतलब
है
नहीं है,
Different
इसमें डाल के
tools
रखा
are
था
there,
1000
inbound
रुपए।
rule, outbound rules,
होल्डिंग टाइम है
how to create the NSG,
90 रुपये
how
माइनस
to
में
protect your servers with the help of
12 रुपये
NSG, then how to use
90 रुपये
public
टोटल
IP,
माइनस में
how to have a
2000
public
रुपये
server, private server. So a lot of things we will see.
जोमेटो
Then
क्यों लेके
disk
रखा है
which we have
तुमने मना
discussed,
किया
that is
था
the
तेरे को
disk
लेके
part.
रखने को?
IOPS throughput, OS disk, data disk, temporary storage.
भेज देता हूँ जोमेटो को से।
Then my dear
अभी रुक
friends,
जा 1-2 मिनट।
snapshots, data disk, the way we have discussed this. Then route tables, making changes in the routing of Azure, NAT gateway. Now we won't be able to explain this because that will all take time. VNet peering, how to connect two VNets, two different networks.
आई
Then what are the ways
यार
to use
ये
Azure
वाला अच्छा गया
services?
है, 266 के लिए
How to save
296 मतलब कि
cost in
अच्छा वाला
Azure,
भेज दे।
Azure reservation,
सेंट्रल बैंक तो
Azure
भरा
hybrid
यार।
benefit,
ओके
Azure
क्या
Spot VM,
यस
and like
बैंक
so
का
on.
ये
Then Azure backup, how to take the backup,
देखो
daily,
ये ऐसा कैसा
weekly,
पढ़ा रहा है।
meaning how to perform backup, then how to
5:30
perform
बजे तक
restore, what happens when we do the backup, and how to perform the restoration.
10 मिनट का भी रेस्ट नहीं मेरा।
Then
हाँ,
how to perform site
1 घंटे
recovery, that is
से
the
तुम कंटिन्यू
disaster
लिख रहा है ना।
recovery, how the
हाँ,
replication happens, how to perform failover, failback. Then load balancer, how to place the load balancer, public load balancer, internal load balancer, where the public load balancer will fit, where the internal load balancer will fit, how the load balancing will happen, that we will see. Then how to perform traffic management, how to use the traffic manager, then different methods of traffic managers are there. Then how to perform scaling, how to perform scale out, how to perform scale in, that we have seen auto scaling. Then storage account is there. Storage account is also
जो गाड़ी
popular
मेरी
service in
जो होती
Azure. So storage account, how to use the storage account, how to put
Dropbox
data in
वाला
the
गाली
storage
करना हो
account, how to
है।
connect to the storage account using access
तुम्हारे
keys,
उसमें
shared
खोल के
access
दिखाओ।
signature. Then there is one more service that is known as Azure CDN. Azure CDN gives content from the nearest caching server so that latency is less, slowness is less, and the website is accessible fast, which is very popular. So in today's world, most of the website which you access now, they use CDN, content delivery network. So the content is delivered from the nearest caching server so that your website access is fast. Is nick teaming there? See, nick teaming is not required because here the bandwidth you get is 50
हाँ, अब
Gbps.
बताओ मतलब मैं क्या
50
देखूं।
Gbps, 100
Spectre
Gbps. So if nick teaming we require because we want to bundle up, we want more bandwidth. Here we are by default getting so much bandwidth in each server. Now, then we will learn
ये
how to
देता ना उसका नाम
create
निकाल के देता ना तेरे को
resource group, how to create resources using command line. So using command line also we will learn, like command line like PowerShell. Then my dear friend, Enter ID connect, the way we have discussed, Enter ID connect your on premises to Azure for single sign on. Then VPN and express out we have discussed. Then Azure monitoring purpose, different rules can be created for monitoring. Then there is Azure Bastion for secure access to the VM. Azure file share is
हाँ,
there. Ready-made share folder.
मेरे को
The way
खुद
you
को नहीं दिख
access in
रहा
your
था।
company na share folders. The same way in Azure you get a ready-made share
पैटर्न
folder
बताओ।
over the internet to
वही पुराना
backslash.
वाला पैटर्न
The way
मेरे
you
को नहीं पता।
access in your on-premises environment, the same way you get in Azure using Azure file share.
ये देखो।
Then there is something known as Azure policy. With the help of Azure
यहाँ
policy, you
कदम
can
कदम
implement something,
पे
you can enforce something.
लगू हसीनाएं।
So these are the PDFs that you will get, my dear friends, along with the course. And what all things you are going to learn in this course. So see, we have a
क्या
syllabus
करूँगा?
and our syllabus is very strong. It is very powerful and it is related to live environment, meaning you will see these things in the live environment. So you can go to this website, you can download the syllabus.
कभी क्या करूँगा?
So here,
बस पढ़ा रहूँगा।
what are the key features
पासपोर्ट में।
of this course? So first of all, this is a live hands-on practical training course, meaning you will be performing live practical along with the trainer. Then it is a hands-on practical training. Trainer support is available. See, my support is available during the course. After the course, you can WhatsApp me. Then you get access to
टाइम लगा दिए फिल्म में।
LMS. See, Atari class, my dear friends, has two business models.
चलो।
One is live training. Right now, you are part of live training. One is LMS, Learning Management System. So, what happens if you miss the lecture? You can attend in any upcoming batch. What happens if you want to
ये वाली मूवी।
revise? Then LMS is there for you. And
निकालना है
LMS
स्पेक्टर वाली
website is this
स्पेक्टर निकाल दिया
lms.atariclass.in. The name of the website is
Inspector
lms.attariclass.in,
Avinash.
and there is no expiry for the LMS. So you get the 11,000 rupees LMS free along with the course. See, LMS fees is different and live training fees is different. So when you are part of live training, the benefit that you get in live training is you are performing live practical along with the trainer. You are eligible for trainer support, and you get the free access to Azure LMS. You get the free access to the Azure LMS. So this 11,000 rupees LMS is given free along with the course. So you will get a code. You will get a code. That code you have to put and you will get the free access to Azure LMS. Okay, there is no need for you to buy the LMS. There is no need for you to buy the LMS. You will get a code here, and using that code, you will get the free access to Azure LMS. So my dear friend, LMS is very good. LMS is very good for revision. So you will get the videos on LMS. Then you will get access to learning portal from where you can download books and dumps that we will share it with you. Then you will get a certificate from Attari class training certificate. Then we have a job group. We have a job group. So can you show Attari LMS portal? This is the Attari LMS portal, my dear friend. lms.attariclass.in. Okay, so you will be getting an access to the job group. So as and when we get the openings, we put in the job group. It's a free support from us. We don't charge anything for that. Okay, we have HRs as and when they get the opening, they give it to us. We post in the group. We try to find openings from LinkedIn, Naukri. We put in the group. If you feel the opening is good for you, you can go ahead and apply. It's a free support from us. So you will be getting a access to job group at the right time. So when you're part of the course, we will be sharing you the link of the job group and you can join that. So my dear friends, going ahead, what all things we would be learning in this course? So you can download the syllabus, you can get the syllabus on WhatsApp. So our syllabus is designed in such a way that we start from the basic. From the basics we start and slowly we go ahead. So like Azure Cloud Computing Basics, here we will learn overview of cloud, how to create the Azure free tier account. See, before coming for the first lecture, for practical purpose, you have to create the Azure free tier account. Now, how to create the Azure free tier account?
Yeah.
We have a video. By watching that video, you will be able to create the free tier account. Without the Azure free tier account, you won't be able to perform the practical. So next Saturday is the first lecture of this course. And we will discuss about the duration of the course also once we complete the syllabus.
Sure.
So there are a lot of things in my mind that I will take step by step. Then we will take up the queries. So the point is that next Saturday is the first lecture of the course. Coming Saturday, correct? Coming Saturday is the first lecture. And this is a practical course, meaning from the first lecture till the last lecture, you will be performing the practicals along with the trainer. If you do not have the account, you won't be able to perform the practical. So account is necessary. Now how to create the account? We will help you. If you have any doubts, queries, you face any error in creation of the account, because it happens, some people get error. You have to share it with me. So how to create the account? That we have a video, my dear friend Umesh, we have a video, and that video the support team will share it with you people. Okay, by watching the video, you will be able to create the account. So Azure free tier account, Azure cloud architecture, Azure subscription, need of support plan, type of support plan, importance of Azure resource group, creating, managing, deleting Azure resource group, adding Azure tags to Azure resources. Then the next module is what is Microsoft Enter ID. I will just read them. I will just read them, and I request people to focus here instead of the chat. See, first you have to let me complete. So here in module 2, we will learn about what is Microsoft Enter ID, user creation in Enter ID, adding custom domain in Enter ID, giving Microsoft Enter ID roles, how to buy custom domain, identity and access management, RBAC role. So this one point like RBAC role, understanding RBAC role, assigning RBAC role, this will take hours. one line will take time. Like for example, this assigning RBAC role to users. This
काय का
we have to show for what is RBAC role,
हाँ भर देंगे
how to use RBAC role,
भर
then
देंगे भर
different
देंगे आ
type
जाओ
of roles, top role, this is owner role. Owner role we have to assign it to the user, then we will log in, then we will show that what owner role can do.
चलते ना रुकते यार
So my dear friends, it's all practical session
बता
where
दो
you will
क्या
see
दिक्कत है
things in action. How to recover deleted user, difference between enter ID role, RBAC role, type of scope where you can assign the RBAC role, multi-factor authentication. Then in module 3, we will learn about availability set, availability zone, fault domain, update domain, proximity placement, then virtual machine deployment in availability zone, virtual machine deployment in availability set, difference between availability zone, availability set, where they can be used, what is the difference between them, what is VNet, what is subnet, what are the virtual machine size, their family, understand concept of stop versus relocate, auto shutdown, reset user password. If we forget the password, how we can reset. Then in module 4, we will learn about Azure firewall. So what is NSG? What is NSG? The Azure firewall. How to create rules in that. How to attach the firewall to the virtual machine. How to attach it to the subnet. How to create allow rule, deny rule. Then how to change the subnet of the VM. How to change the VNet of the VM. How to set custom DNS in the Azure virtual machine. How to change the Azure virtual machine private IP. So my dear friends, I'm not reading all of them. So how one virtual machine can communicate with another virtual machine, what is VNet peering, how to perform VNet peering, local peering, global peering, what is NAT gateway, how with the help of NAT gateway the VMs can access the internet. Then what is disk, OS disk, data disk, what is snapshots, what is locks. Then in module 7, Azure cost calculation, how to perform cost calculation in Azure, and what are the ways of cost saving, what is spot VM, what is reserve instance, what is Azure hybrid benefit, what is saving plan. So how to save cost for production servers, how to save cost for non-production servers, and like so on. I'm just reading few of them, meaning. So here we will discuss about Azure backup, how to take the backup, how to perform site recovery, how to select the primary, the secondary region, how to create a disaster recovery plan, how to perform replication, how to perform failover. Then in module 9, we will learn about load balancer, how load balancer work, public load balancer, private load balancer, how to install IS service in the virtual machine, how to perform health check, how to create NAT rules, outbound rule, inbound rules, how to create traffic manager, how to use the traffic manager for DR scenario, how to perform traffic management using traffic manager. Then in module 10, we will learn about scaling, how to perform auto scaling, how to perform scale out, how to perform scale in, how to create the scaling policy. Then here we will learn how to perform infrastructure as a service, meaning how to use a code to deploy something, how to automate deployment using JSON template, how we can automate this. Now in module 11, we will learn about storage account, different types of storage account, meaning different type of replication in storage account, LRS, GRS, and all that. Then Azure's endpoint, private endpoints, how the storage account can be used privately. Then access key, shared access signature. Then Azure CDN, Azure file share, how we can use the AZ copy tool to copy the data from one storage account to another storage account. Then in module 12, we will learn about connection of Azure cloud to on-premises environment. VPN is there, express route is there. Then we will learn how to perform synchronization, meaning connect your on-premises domain environment with the Azure environment for single sign-on. Then in module 13, we will learn about Azure Bastion, Azure Monitor, how to create a rule in Azure Monitor, how to use policies, how to create virtual machine and storage using PowerShell. What about PowerShell? So PowerShell we will have, it will come, that how we can use using PowerShell. And I got a question for PowerShell, difference between PowerShell and Azure CLI. See, Azure CLI is related to only Azure and PowerShell is coming from Windows Server. So they have given both option, whatever you want, you can use. So some people feel Azure CLI is easy, they use that. Some people feel PowerShell easy, they use that. Now, coming to the next thing is migration to Azure cloud. Now this we will discuss. We can't do this practical, but I have created a video on this, on migration topic. So that video we will share it with you. That video we will tell you to watch and come, because there is a requirement in the video that you will understand. A lot of CPU, a lot of memory is required, which we cannot have it for this migration, and it requires 5-6 hours for migration. But you will get an understanding, meaning after doing this course, you will get an understanding to understand the concept of migration that we will discuss in the last lecture. On premises to cloud, correct? So on premises to cloud migration. Now coming to the next thing. So our syllabus is strong, it is powerful, and it is a realistic one, meaning you will see things in the company. Whatever you learn, you will see things in the company in front of you. And we will go from very basics. We don't have any expectations, any prerequisites. But if you are completely fresher, and if you have never taken remote of the server, either Windows server, Linux server, if you have never taken the remote of the server, then this course is not for you. Simple, my dear friend. Meaning someone who has no idea of server, then you should do MCSC at least. You should get knowledge of server, especially fresher people. See, fresher people normally ask me that, sir, can I do this course? So I have seen that there are two type of fresher. So I have a question for the fresher people. Have you understood the demo? Now there are some fresher people, they say that, sir, I have understood because I was in BSc IT, I was in MSc IT. So in that we have done all these things. So I know about servers. I have basic knowledge of servers. So I am able to understand the demo session. So if you are able to understand the demo session, then you can do this course. So fresher related queries I have resolved. If you are a fresher, you are able to understand the demo and you have some base of server, then you can do this. But if you are a fresher, you are completely from BCom, BCom, BA, you have no knowledge of IT, you won't be able to understand this course. You do first MCSC, get some server knowledge, and then do this course. Okay. So you have to contact the support team or you have to contact me. So BCom people, BA people, completely fresher. See, Atari class believes in clear and honest training. So this is my number. Now we will take up the questions in the chat box. Okay. But before that, what is the duration of this course? So the duration of the course is 5 weeks. So Saturday, the course will start. Saturday, Sunday. Saturday from 1:30 p.m. to like 3:30 p.m. Then there will be a 15 minutes break. And then from like 3:45, we can go up to 6 also. Because see, we go slow, we go step by step. We are in no hurry. So we go up to 6 also. So you have to prepare your mind. We have told you 1:30 to 5:30. But this is not live video. This is live training. In live training, issues happen. The trainer has to take the remote. We have to help. So it happens. It will happen till 6 p.m. maximum. So this timing will be here also. 1:30 to 3:30. Then approximate, meaning not always at 3:30. Sometime it can be 3:40 also. It depends upon the session. Then 15 minutes break. And then from 3:45 to like approximate max to max 6 p.m. I'm saying, so that your mind is prepared. So Saturday and Sunday, this will be the first week. Then, my dear friends, the next week will be, this will be the first week. Then the next week, then the next week, then the next week, then the next week, and
वो चल रहा है
then
ना हो ही गया है ना उसका काम हो ही गया वो बताई तो रहा है बस हो गया मैं चाय पी के तुरंत अभी आ जाऊंगा फिर तू
the
कॉफी पी दूंगा
last
चलेगा बस
one
अरे तो तुम चल जाना ना अकेले
is on Saturday.
जरूरत थोड़ी है मेरी
So this is the
मेरे पास
first
गाड़ी
week,
नहीं है ना अरे तो मेरी गाड़ी लेके
second
जाना
week,
है ना तो मैं गाड़ी पे यहीं छोड़
third
मैं
week,
कोई
fourth
छोड़ के
week,
जा रहा हूँ
fifth week,
अभी
and this is the last session. So we say 5 weeks, but
तुम
actually it
चाय
is
पीते जाओ
5.5.
इतने टाइम
Okay.
से मैं
So it is a 40 plus hours course, and this is the format of the course.
4 बज गए दो
If you
चाय
miss any session, first of all, if you have decided to join, then you should not miss. See, you have to take up a commitment that I will come for the complete 5 weeks and I will do the complete course. If you miss for any reason, then LMS is there for you. LMS will help you for revision. LMS will help you in miss lecture, and you have trainer support also. Okay, trainer support is there with you. So you can take the trainer support. I cannot connect Saturday session. See, for example, for any reason you are not able to connect Saturday. So Saturday you refer from LMS.